Hello everyone, no respawns here, hope you're doing well. So, I've got a wee bit of a surprise for you, if the title of the video didn't give it away. So basically over the weekend, I purchased Fallout 4 because obviously it was half price over the weekend, if you didn't know. It was also free for the weekend too, but there was no point in me downloading it as I already... Well, downloading it just to test it out on PC, because I knew it was going to work. So I bought the Game of the Year edition and have started doing something I've wanted to do for a long time. I'm also peckish, apparently, but I'll eat in a sec. So basically, I'm on survival, if you hadn't guessed. So basically, I've wanted to actually create player mods for quite a long time. My plan has been to basically make kind of settlements, basically, within the workshop using the creation kit, and then making them available for everyone to download. So I've now started doing that. This isn't ready. I'm just going to give you a quick tour of what I've done so far. I'm quite pleased with it, or how it's kind of shaping up. The creation kit is basically a bit easier to pick up than I was expecting, but way more complicated in areas that I didn't expect. In terms of, for example, like linking because my workbenches weren't actually linked to the actual main settlement workbench, things like that. That windmill doesn't actually generate power for this settlement yet, and neither are these food actually connected at all. I know how to do that, I just haven't got around to doing it. However, it's quite fun. I'm really enjoying it, because the great thing is, because I've been building for so long, I kind of have been given quite a head start in terms of, say, someone who just picked it up. For example, I know what all the items are called already. So, for example, you have to kind of search for grill, things like that, corrugated steel floor pieces. I already know what they're called because I've been using them for ages. So whereas a lot of people might struggle with actually finding an item, I just kind of go, oh yeah, I know what I'm looking for. And the navigation was a little confusing at first, but I got it. So yeah, it's quite time consuming. I haven't done any junk decoration, but however, it's quite fun. Just as so those of you who are curious, these will be using no external assets or custom scripts. So basically, this will be completely available for PS4. The plan is to have it available for all platforms. The first one will be the actual player home. So what I want to do is I want to do just the sole survivors main home, really high detailed, and so that way you can just start a new game and you have a fully built, very nice looking custom home. The old style I'm going for is I want it to kind of look like it was made in the workshop to the highest possible quality. So it won't look, it's going to be very, very lore friendly. You kind of know what I'm like. And obviously I'm taking a few liberties. For example, there are stuff I've done in here which I can't do in the workshop, such as I've got ply boards boarding up the windows, and I've obviously changed the angle they're set at. And also, for example, I've resized quite a few containers and bits and pieces. But generally speaking, you could ostensibly build this within the workshop yourself. You're very, very cool. Also on the side as well is, though I do want to make lots of these, it might be a while until I make, don't expect me to have made loads of them, if you know what I mean. People are like, oh, can you make this settlement as a mod? They're very time consuming, basically. But anyway, let's begin. Oh, and I'm still doing builds, by the way. I'm just also going to make mods, basically. Builds are useful for me to kind of practicing the design. Anyway, let's give you a quick tour of what I've made so far. Let's go to the front. If it gets foggy again, because I don't actually have a weather mod installed. So basically, the first mod will be Sanctuary Player Home. It's going to be a very, very RP heavy build. The idea being is after this, it may not be the next mod actually, but it's kind of the aim is to actually have it so there's a second mod you can download which finishes Sanctuary. And now this won't be a big Sanctuary. The plan is to do that Sanctuary you're probably familiar with of mine, that scale, but I'll kind of give you the layout of how I'm going to do it. So let's go inside first. Now, I haven't done much. A lot of it is me been learning how to use the creation kit, and also I'm trying to make the design a little bit tighter. So firstly, I've boarded up all of the windows with plyboard, and it looks really, really good. It's much better. Before, obviously, as those remember my second ever video, we actually used wooden walls, whereas in this instance what I've done is I've used plyboard, because that's what they use when you see boarded up houses around the game. I was in Concord as an example. I was looking around to kind of see how it was done, and it looks quite cool. I'm quite pleased. The whole thing looks a lot more lore friendly, which is quite grand. Obviously, I've patched up those holes as well. You've got 2 little areas at the side. So, oh, by the way, there are no junk decoration because I have to make all the items static, and this will have a lot more detail. So think of this as the framework of everything. Those of you who pay attention to my videos know that I'm kind of quite big on the actual layout. The layout of a room is way the hardest part because you need to kind of think how the use of space. So I'm quite pleased with the use of space here in my little garage at the side, and also my wee farm. Now, the idea being with the wee farm is it's got 6 of each of the plants, so 6 corn, 6 mute fruit, and 6 potatoes, 6 mute fruits. That's because I wanted to give you a decent amount of food, but also this is the food to make vegetable starch. So there are no carrots and things like that, but I just didn't want to go OTT, which is quite good. I did raise that gate up a little bit as well, in case you're curious. I've got my the garage here. Obviously, again, there will be loads more detail. I think that, by the way, that flashing light is just my PC being a twat, so ignore that, sorry. But basically, it's going to have loads of detail. There's going to be junk everywhere. And it's going to be very, very busy, you know what I'm like, but I'm just kind of getting the furniture in the right place. This is actually the loading screen gun rack, so I didn't actually design that myself. I just like, oh, that's nice. Let's put that there. So this is going to be quite cool. I really like the way that I put the fence, and then it's actually boarded up at the back. Cleared the gate, look at that. I quite like this is actually here. So see, I've kind of walled it off. The premise being that normally my end goal sanctuary would actually be completely walled off here. So I put that wall there kind of as an in advance thing. I won't clear the gate this time. Not brave enough for a second time. So as you can see, it looks very cool. It's going to look quite nice. It's going to be very, very grand. So one thing I've done is, same with how I've boarded up the windows. I've boarded up the roof. Oh, there's no lights in here, by the way. I've boarded up the roofs, but again, rather than using the shack upper floors, which I used last time, originally, I've actually used the corrugated steel pieces. So what I've gone and done is I've used these bits here. I actually took the entire roof off and then put them on and then put it back on. So no, but there's going to be maybe slithers of light because that just happens. But for the most part, there is kind of literally no light getting in, which is pretty grand. All of these workstations work now. Also, all of my containers are now safe. That was the thing I was concerned about, because even though I hadn't designed mods, I was familiar with the various issues that you had, especially in terms of, for example, had I just put this down, you would have put an item in here and it would have respawned and would have deleted your stuff. So now it doesn't. I've turned off respawn. These are like copies. I made my own copies of everything. I renamed them something like no respawns, player home, and then I've made them so they don't respawn. Same with these chem boxes, so everything is safe in here. One thing I don't have yet, because I haven't gone back to do that, is you can't currently scrap all of my custom stuff. You will be able to. I just haven't got around to doing that yet. I think I have to actually change a lot of the base stuff. Then you can't even use that as well. It doesn't even work. It doesn't even have any power connected to it. But the premise is I want you to be able to scrap everything, because though all the junk decoration especially is going to be static, I don't want to force it upon you, but I don't know how viable that would be in junk decoration. I think I can make it so you can scrap them, but we will see. So as I said, I've kind of got the layout of the living room and kitchen pretty much done. It's very, very empty because there's no details and there's loads of like little bits of furniture, but the premise is, still seating area, chems area, and kitchen. But these will obviously be a lot busier. Loads of shelves everywhere as well, and loads of details, so it look quite cool. I haven't done the bathroom at all whatsoever. This is going to be a storage area, though, I think. I'm going RP with this, and I'm making it so this will be Sean's room. Obviously, you haven't played the game. Play it. You haven't got to have met Sean yet. Obviously, I won't spoil anything for you. But I like the idea that the sole survivor, has kind of got the room ready for his infant son. I like that idea quite a lot, so that's what I'm going to do with this room. It's going to be toys. In my mind, I like the idea, maybe the headcanon is that Codsworth, because he's been alone for 200 years, has done all this himself. That's why, you start a survival game, you can justify having all this stuff. He's a robot, and he's erred on the side of caution. I did accidentally disable the script for interaction with this, so I have to turn it back on now. I have been decorating the room quite a bit, which I'm quite enjoyed. So basically, I'm kind of experimenting with the feng shui. I love being able to resize these things. It just makes me so happy. I've got a wee safe over here as well. Sorry if you hear a rumbling, that's actually my stomach. I haven't actually eaten yet. I've been a bit busy. I'm also thirsty in the game, apparently, as well. So I've been having quite a lot of fun with the posters. I'm kind of taking it quite slow, and I really want to make the space something that you can use. I've got shelves in here. I want everything to work and to look good. So I've spent hours just doing this room. Well, maybe not hours. Yeah, technically hours too. Just kind of make everything so it looks right, and this is something that this will be a very detailed play at home. It's going to be very packed as well. So I like cluttered rooms. Just as a question, I need to ask someone about this. I will message. By the way, I've been getting loads of help from other mod devs as well. Special shout out to Eleonora. She's been really helpful, as has Final Render, and also my friend Ogre as well. I'll be reviewing his mod soon as well. Those three have been incredibly helpful with the multitude of questions that I've had, which is grand. But yeah, basically, if you've seen some of... I went to see Eleonora's, her little... I can't remember the name of it. It's her little sanctuary house thing. It's like a little trailer. The junk decoration, that kind of level of packedness is what you're going to have in here. But I'm going to make it so you can scrap it as well. But yeah, so I need to ask someone about this. I don't know if this bobblehead stand is safe, because I haven't made my own copy. I know they don't respawn. I think so, but I'm not too sure. But yes, there are going to be details like pillows and stuff. It's going to be grand. So basically, I'm really excited for this. The first mod, obviously, will, as I said, be the Sanctuary Player Home. And what I'm going to do, again, is I'm not going to update that mod with Sanctuary. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have Sanctuary as like a second mod you can download. So hypothetically, you could download Sanctuary and not have the Player Home. That's my idea. So that way for example, if you want to murder everyone, and also it just kind of makes it a bit easier, doesn't it? So that way, if I edit one, I don't fuck both. So in terms of the layout of how Sanctuary is going to look, this will take a while. Basically, this will be where the gate is. So you those of you who've seen my Sanctuary know what it's going to look like. But there's going to be a gate there. It's going to be walled off here. This will probably be a custom building. I don't know what yet. And there will be a wall here, leading over here. So it's not going to be a big sanctuary at all. I don't like massive, big settlements. This is going to be something smallish, quite detailed, though. And I'm going to have, for example, like Sheffield. I'm going to have it so there are enough rooms for you to have quite a few people. That's the idea. So, for example, I'm going to have shops as well, which should be pretty grand. And you can obviously... but if I make everything scrappable, then you can hopefully... remove those. Hello, Codsworth. I'll talk to you in a sec, because I haven't actually... I'm like level 6. I've literally just got back from Sanctuary. So these rooms are going to be decorated. I actually have been decorating my other Sanctuary, and I've actually decorated this room, this one, and the workshop house already. So I'm going to be ripping off my own ideas. The player house has taken me ages, because... I couldn't decide where to put everything, but whereas this one, I actually already know how it's going to look, which is cool, except I can obviously do more because I'm on PC. See, I haven't even been in the game so long. The fact is that these bloatflies are still here and hanging out. Yeah, so basically that's it. I'm really, really excited. This is going to be so much fun, I think. I'm really excited, just one, because I've wanted to do this for ages. Two, it'll be great for the channel, I think, because I'm confident as long as the mods aren't buggy, and they shouldn't be, because I'm not doing anything ultimately quite brave in terms of technically, it's more just design, that they should work quite well. And I think obviously because of my channel, I think the mods should be reasonably successful, which is going to be, I'm hoping the mods will be reasonably successful, which is going to be cool. But I'm also happy for myself as well, because I like playing Fallout, and I've been wanting to start a new game for ages, but my settlements have been like, oh, I have to keep rebuilding them each time, whereas this means that I basically will have my Sanctuary the way I want, immediately downloadable, which is just so cool. Now, as I briefly mentioned this in terms of other builds. So the plan is to do Sanctuary and Player Home, then Sanctuary. My plan, future-wise, for other settlements is open. I know for a fact I will definitely do a home plate that you can download, I think, just because home plate is always a place I like decorating. And it's also quite the challenge to do. In terms of other settlements, people have asked, will I do the castle again? Who knows? It will be more of an ad hoc basis, just kind of seeing what what the response is, obviously, from you guys, but also kind of, how viable it is. Also, it is obviously very, very time-consuming, so I won't be be able to do them. I won't be able to pop these out as quickly as, say, my builds. On the subject of builds, I said I will still be doing building videos within the in-game workshop, just because it's fun. Also because, obviously, people are still making mods. I've actually put some requests from a couple of people. The mod dev who does the Post of the Commonwealth is going to be adding some new shit soon, which is going to be cool. Some pretty cool stuff. Some workshop, these things. What are they called? Those. Adding some of those, but decorative junk. So yes, it will be very, very cool. I hope you guys are excited as I am. The Player Home ostensibly should be up for download hopefully this weekend. At the rate I'm going, I think that's definitely viable. I'm actually working from home all this week, with the exception of a couple of meetings I have to pop out to, so I do have a little bit more time. If it's late, I'll let you know, basically. The next video is going to be a mod review of my friend's mod, but also I'll see if I can get just a general build out this week as well. But until that point, you guys enjoy the rest of your week. As always, follow me on Twitter at norespawns, and I want to speak to you lovely people soon. You take care.